What's up, beauty bosses? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for coming back. I want to first thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing to this video. Thank you guys for all of your amazing comments, all of the love that I have been receiving. And this week's video is hair time. As you can see, I have this wild, crazy red hair, and I wanted to go through kind of the process of how I dyed these bundles to make them this color you see now. So I got this hair from ISee Beauty, and I will link them below. And what I did was I just lifted the hair, went through the process of dyeing it, slapped some red on it, and really prayed for the best. But I'm going to kind of go into more detail about what I did in this next video. So let's jump into it. So to start out, what you're going to need is your hair, of course, which is the ISee hair, coconut oil, some 40 developer, and of course some quick white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt the coconut oil into the pan, and then I'm going to dip my closure in that so that I can do the coconut bleaching. So those are the first steps that you do. So here I'm just kind of talking about the hair. This is the ISee hair that is in Kinky Curly. It comes in a 1B, so it's already got that brownish tint to it, which makes it a little easier to lift as something that is jet black. I really like the hair because I love how tight and kinky the hair is, and it does get really, really big. So as I'm going through these steps, I'm just kind of talking about the hair and what I like about it. I'm kind of raking through it just so you guys can kind of see like what the texture looks like, but A+ on the texture and hair. It is amazing. So here I'm just taking out regular organic coconut oil in its natural form, and I'm gonna stick it into the microwave for like a minute so that it gets really, really liquefied. Also with the hair, when I am dyeing hair, I find that it's best to wet the hair first. For whatever reason, like with bleaching, when you wet the hair first, the hair seems to really take to the bleach. And I noticed that it does dye a little quicker, a little easier, and the dye actually sticks onto the hair a little better when it is wet. That is my personal preference. You don't have to do that if you don't feel comfortable doing it, but for me, that's kind of like my go-to trick into lifting and dyeing hair. Now it is liquefied coconut oil, guys. Check it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually dip my closure into the coconut oil and let it sit in there so that it gets very, very saturated. Do not worry, this coconut oil will come out of your closure. It will not be oily or weighed down. What it does is offers a protective coat over the closure so that when you are dyeing your closure, you don't get like a frizzy, crazy kind of closure. Like I've noticed that when I have dyed the hair in closure before, closure seems to get really frizzy and really kind of wild and untamable, while the hair is able to kind of bounce back from the bleaching. So to protect our closure, since that is the forefront of our head, that is what everybody sees first, we are going to dip it in coconut oil, and we're going to leave it in coconut oil while we do the rest of the hair. Here I'm just measuring out 40 developer and quick white. I really don't have like a strict measuring system. If I want the hair to get lighter, of course I do a lot more quick white than I do with the 40 developer, but I don't let it get like chunky and like dry and powdery because it doesn't seem to spread as well. So what I do is I like to have a fine mix. I like for it to be kind of milky, but I like to have more of the quick white if I'm trying to go really, really light as I am here. So that's what I'm doing. I again don't use any kind of measuring techniques. I kind of eye it because I've been dyeing hair for so long. But if you would like to, you know, use certain measuring cups and things like that, that will be fine as well. It's just kind of up to you. Again, this is your preference. Also, these closures are already wet. I have dipped them in water, so they are ready to go. update. So it is changing very quickly. This one was the first one I did, so that will probably be the first one that I wash out. And then these two next, as I see that they are changing. So just wanted to give you an update. They are still baking, and we still have our other closure here in the coconut oil. All right, guys, so I have let it sit in some bleach and I lifted it. Again, it's up to you and your preference as far as the color goes. I kind of took it out when it got a little bit lighter since I am doing it red. I want to be able to lift it and have the red on there so that it does not go like burgundy or super dark where you can't tell. I don't want it to have a tint. I want it to be noticeably red. So what I'm going to do now is slap the red on it. I have washed out the bleach. I have put it in conditioner, let it sit in conditioner for like 45 minutes. And now I'm going to slap the red on it, and then we'll see what it looks like. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is the color that I'm using. It is Revlon in Vivid Red. It is moisture rich color, it says. First time I'm using this one, so I'm very interested to see how it's going to turn out. So stay tuned, guys. Guys, so here's the closure. Left it in for about 30 minutes, then I left it in conditioner for another 30 minutes. And here it goes, and I'm going to start the process of dyeing this red. This is a little bit trickier because you don't want to get the red on the lace, so I will show you guys how I do that in just a second. Closure time. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here is very fine and delicately dyeing the closure. Again, like I said, you do not want to get any dye on your lace. So what I have done is I've pinned it to my little faithful mannequin head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, of course, at the roots and go all the way to the ends. What I do as a trick to make sure that it is on the roots but not on the closure is I apply the dye like maybe just an inch above the roots. And what I do is take a comb and I just comb through it. That way it gets through all strands of the hair, but it does not get like sapped onto the closure. So that is what I'm doing here. Look at this perfection. I did that right. Damn, I know. Well, what I do after I have applied the dye and washed it out is I have it sitting in conditioner as well as a hot oil treatment. Again, to combat that frizziness, and since we've done so much to this hair as far as lifting and dyeing and just flipping it all around, putting conditioner and a hot oil treatment on there and soaking back in that moisture is so crucial in order to get this hair how we want it to be. Now I have washed out the conditioner and the hot oil treatment that was in the hair. It was all of the shedding that has happened from all of that dye. So from lifting the hair to slapping on the red, this was the only little ball of shedding that happened between 3 bundles and a closure. So I say that that's pretty good considering all of the lifting and heavy duty work we did on the hair. So that is about it, which means good hair. And a key to having good hair and keeping it good is conditioning it a lot. All right, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know what to do. Drop me a comment below, shoot me an email to asieraecosmetics@gmail.com, or you can find me on social media. That is Rae Cosmetics. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Peace.